The views and opinions expressed on this podcast, including discussions on news, politics, and current events, are solely those of the host and guests and are based on personal thoughts, experiences, and opinions. Nothing stated should be considered factual unless independently verified by the listener. This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only and does not provide financial, legal, medical, political, or life advice. Any actions discussed are what we would do personally, not recommendations for others. Listeners are encouraged to do their own research and consult qualified professionals before making any decisions. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Impel Forward Podcast. I am your host, Leon, and today I have with me a special guest. I'm going to call him the Coffee Man.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm with it.
Robert Williams, man. We've been chatting it up, and he was telling me his story, and I said, I'm going to bring him on. I said, look, I stopped him in the middle of his conversation. I said,
though.
Yeah, I said, man, look, you want to come on the podcast and tell this story? So yeah, we're here. My wife, she's in the back. She's playing on the computer, playing games back there. But we're here. Let's go, Robert Williams. What's going on, man?
Man, I'm good, man.
Now you say your mama call you what? Tremaine.
Yeah. So I'm good, man. Just moved down here from the H-Town all day long.
Yeah, y'all hit H-Town twang.
Yeah, H-Town.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we love it. Been in North Carolina for a few months now. So it's cool. It's real laid back. It's real slow. Which we like. You know what I'm saying? Down back home, man. It's everybody moving there. So people from California, Chicago. So I'm like, y'all can have it. We moving to North Carolina. Y'all probably feel like that now, huh? Everybody moving down here.
Yeah, especially since the pandemic.
Yeah.
The pandemic.
Everybody relocate, man. But I mean, I like it. And then normally it's always so hot and humid back home. Mm-hmm. It don't matter how hot it is. You got at least 90%, 95% humidity because you know we by the ocean, by the Gulf. So we love it, bro. Yeah. We love it.
Yeah, so you're here because you was telling me your story about coffee, dealing in coffee. How did we get on that subject of coffee? I don't know what we talking about. Something? Did you see me drinking my coffee?
Yeah. Okay. Nah, man, I was telling you about. I guess you could say it's an honor, but it's a company called Voyage Houston that did an article, an interview on me about what I did. My time spent in the coffee space, which to me was crazy because you got to get nominated. So I've been meaning to like text all my people like, you send me a nomination? Because they just hit me randomly. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy that it happened when I moved to North Carolina. Like if I was back home, I probably would have like tried to do like a coffee shop takeover with somebody or some of my people. But nah, man, they did an article on me, how I got started in the business. And it's crazy because it started during the pandemic. I just really I was just sipping coffee and was going to different coffee shops. I say probably like post right after the pandemic. We was kind of getting out, but everybody was still wearing a mask and all of that. I just want to go to just some different coffee shops and just kind of talk about it. And I started a Instagram page called Houston Coffee Chronicles. And I would just kind of go through, this coffee is a latte. You know, the syrup is good, whatever, got good texture. And before you know it, I started getting some followers and not a whole lot, but I started getting some traction or whatever. So I was like, maybe I should keep doing this. So I would go to different shops, but I started meeting a lot of people, different coffee shop owners. I met, I think it's Beyonce Pastor, but I met him. He owned a coffee shop called Through Good for a while. He was one of the first people to let me put my coffee in his shop. So I met him. That's kind of where the IG started. And then ran into some people. A guy was telling me he could get green coffee. Delvin Stern, that's his name, Equatorial Coffee Consultants. I want to make sure I shout out my people. But he was like, man, I'll get you green coffee. I'm like, bro, what is green coffee? He like, you got to roast it. It come green. It don't just come brown. I was like, that's crazy. So how I get some green? So he got me some green. Like I said, I Stop me anytime you want to ask me another question,
Go ahead,
bro.
go ahead.
Okay.
So what I do is if you say something, I usually have my pad.
No, you good.
But if you say something that I want to ask you a question about, I put it in my phone. So
cool.
Roll on.
Just interrupt me whenever, because
people want to hear you.
Like I'm telling you, I'll be talking, bro. So, but man. So he's like, he give me some green. He got me some coffee, and I say, man, but I don't know how to roast it. He was like, you got to figure it out. So I'm like, man, I know I ain't have no bread to get no commercial roaster. And I was like, I ain't want to start my company in a whole lot of debt. So I tried to roast it on my skillet, a cast iron. And it took forever. So I'm like, man, ain't no way I can start a business. It take me like an hour to roast this coffee. So I was thinking, I said, well, now this might not be for everybody, but I've heard, you can't cook, like, let's say you're trying to make a turkey. Just kind of leave it in there until it's like golden brown. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, I ain't never roasted coffee before. So I'm going to try this oven and maybe I can figure it out. So burnt my first batch. Second batch wasn't that good, but that third batch, and this is the crazy part, I only had 3 batches. So 3 sample batches. They was probably like 100, 150, 200 grams. So if I would have burnt this last batch, I would have had to try to figure out how to get some more green or whatever, but I was trying to get a good roast so I could try it. Third batch, I did decent, and my wife don't drink coffee. She do now, but she didn't drink coffee at the time. So I was like, if she like it, then
you got some.
Yeah. I got some.
Right.
So she was like, this coffee is good. So I'm like, I say, well, I'm thinking about starting a business. She was like, you should. So now, mind you, I didn't know that doing all of this roasting in the house was bad at the time, but we'll get to that. So I said, well, let me order 15 pounds from Delvin. Got 15 pounds from Delvin. Man, we soft launched April 8th, 2026, April 8th, 2021. And I called some of my friends from church and stuff and was like, hey, I'm starting this business. Can y'all support? Bro, I sold out of all my coffee in 3 days and I hadn't even roasted it yet. So I was like, okay, God, then we obviously you talking to me, so we gonna keep going. So man, sold all of that. My homegirl Camden Scott, I know she gonna check out the podcast. I'm gonna tell her she gotta listen. So she bought my first 2 pounds of coffee. But yeah, so
now you said you roasted the coffee. You sold it before you even roasted it.
Yeah. Nobody had even tried it yet.
That's what I'm getting to. Ain't
nobody that's crazy. Nobody. And now I'm gonna tell you, my wife's like, "Do you be nervous sometimes?" I was nervous. I was nervous because I'm like, "What if they think it's bad?" You know what I'm saying? They done spent this bread with me, but now it's like, man, they ended up loving it. And I think, of course, they would just support me. You know what I'm saying? But they ended up loving it. So I figured out how to get. I'm a nerd out a couple times about coffee. So I'm gonna just let you know now. So
they want to know the details.
So normally when you go to a coffee shop, they roast their coffee to a medium roast or a dark roast. Now, a lot of people think dark roast is I just roast the coffee till it's black and burnt, and that's a dark roast. And technically that's not it. Your dark roast is gonna be like your second crack. So when you roasting coffee, it's 3 phases you go through. You go through a drying phase, a Maillard phase, and then a development phase, or your DTR, your development time ratio. So your drying phase is like when you put the coffee in there, it's kind of, definitely if it's a wash, density, stuff like that, it's starting to get it out. Then it'll change colors to like a yellow or something like that. That's your Maillard phase. So you're going to start smelling something like a baked cookie, stuff like that. Your Maillard phase is like your I don't want to say seasoning, but it's like where you get most of your flavors, right, from the roast. Then you'll get a pop or like your first crack. So when it get hot enough, coffee start popping. Pop, 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 pop. So that's like your first crack. So your first crack is going to be like light roast. You let it go a little bit past that first crack, that's going to be like your medium roast. So after your first crack, your DTR, your development time ratio, is the time that you spend where you say, okay, how much do I want to expose the flavors that I got during the Maillard phase? So you can go 30 seconds, 45 seconds. I say like a universal is like 45 seconds to a minute, and then you drop it. But if you go past that first crack, you get a second crack. That's when like your dark roast kind of start being exposed. Your second crack is like around your dark roast. So normally when you go to a coffee shop, if they giving you some on espresso, it's going to be a medium roast because that's like a universal, everybody do medium roast on espresso, or dark roast. So when I was roasting in my oven at home, my goal was to try to get a medium roast because I knew I was going to be able to get a dark roast. You feel me? So, but I was like, I want to try to figure out how to get a good medium roast. And man, I was able to. And I would put the oven on 425. And it's crazy because like that was like preheat. So I set it at 425 and then I hear that bad boy beep. Sometimes I wait till it beep and then I'll put it in. Or sometimes I just set it on 425 and let it warm with it. But I found out that I got the best roast when I kind of waited and it was kind of preheated. And then I put the coffee in. So I would put it on this like big old coffee sheet and I would use the palm of my hand to try to make a circle of it because the oven kind of cook in a circle. So I was like, if I could try to figure out how to get an even circle, maybe I get an even roast. Because like when I first started, bro, I had like some medium beans, some light roast, and some dark roast, and it was all together. So I was like, how do I figure out how to get it like, I don't want to say congruent, but the same all the way around or whatever, consistent. And I do like a little palm, make sure it's like a cool circle. And sometimes I'd have to take the coffee out, shake it back up, put it in the circle, put it back in. So it was crazy because my homeboy Antoine was like, bro, every time you take the coffee out, you losing heat, which is true. But I'm like, I didn't know. So like, I'm new. I was doing this new to the coffee game, but I just knew I couldn't afford no big old 15 kilo, 20 kilo roaster. And then I didn't have no customer base. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not trying to buy $20,000, $30,000 roaster. And I mean, the most I can sell is right now is 15 pounds from my customers. And they my family and friends. I ain't trying to spend money like that, then be like, dang, I should have waited. But yeah, man, so ended up getting a medium roast. And man, the rest is history.
Yeah.
The rest is history.
Go back to the part where you told me that you started cooking in your house and how
yeah.
it affected.
So yeah, this was crazy.
Yeah.
So what I found out was coffee gas is not good for you to breathe in consistently. But of course, I didn't know this. I was new in the game. So I would do like a medium roast and a dark roast, and it'll sit in the house for about 5 days. So like if I roast some on Monday, man, all the way till Friday, you can smell, almost feel it too, dog. Like you can smell it, you can feel the gas in the house. So my first 95 orders when I started my business were all in my conventional oven at the crib. Mm. So what I noticed was I kept starting to cough a lot at night. Couldn't really get no rest. My wife be like, why you coughing so much? I don't know. Then I could hear my daughter cough. So 2021, my daughter was probably like 8 or 9, my youngest or something. And I could hear her coughing. I'm like, man, why she coughing so much? So I said, man, what if it's the coffee? Because, normally you trying to figure out what's going on with your body. You're like, okay, what did I add new into my lifestyle? So I say, well, shoot, I've been good till I started roasting this coffee. So I started researching on coffee gas. And I found out it was a company in the UK that was suing the CEO or something because it was a lot of people developing lung cancer. So I said, I'm literally killing myself.
What's going on? I hope that you are enjoying this episode, but I wanted to take the time out to ask you to please subscribe to the podcast. I've noticed that a lot of people are watching but are not subscribed. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss an episode when it's aired or about to air. And also make sure you go to impelforwardmerch.com. That's impelforwardmerch.com. Grab you something. Now back to the episode.
With this business, so I said, you know what? I talked to my wife. I said, babe, we're gonna have to shut it down. She was like, well, if you getting sick and baby girl getting sick, then that's cool. So we decided to shut it down after that. But of course, it's not the end of the story because I'm still in the business. But but yeah, man, I did not know that coffee gas was not good for you like that, just bad for you like that. And it ended up getting us real sick, and we had to make a decision to shut it down at the time.
Well, now what was it called again?
I think it was like I'm gonna say it's a methane gas. I'm not sure though.
The condition that
so the term I looked up, it might have been nocturnal asthma, I think. Okay. But it's something like bronchitis. It's something like bronchitis. And man, me and baby girl couldn't get no rest. So I was like, we're gonna have to shut it down.
Right. So talk about what you call your blessings of how you got a lot of your equipment and how you was connected with different people.
Yeah, this man, you know what's crazy? I've shared this story a few times, but like every time I share it, it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. I'm like, dang, this is really my life. But yeah, so it's like so after we decided to shut the business down, I had a homeboy of mine named Bart. He owned a company called Coffee Black. They based in Memphis. So I met him online during the pandemic. He was Coffee Black was one of the first companies that I bought coffee from online and actually was brewing at the house. So I was following him on IG. He was like, man, we coming down. We doing like a coffee shop takeover at Blacksmith. So Blacksmith is, I would say my number one shop. And I'm a little biased because I know the owners and they good people. But he had a coffee shop takeover at Blacksmith. He's like, we're going to be there in the morning. I was like, I can't make it. He's like, well, we going to be at the Rice Box in the evening. So I was like, okay, cool. Can I pull up? He was like, yeah, it's whatever. So we get to the Rice Box. He let me share my story and all of that. And then it was David Buer, Antoine, AKA my homeboy Twiz, and like decent amount of other people, my homeboy David from Tipping Point. And Bart was like, man, tell everybody, your story. So I'm sharing like what I'm, sharing now. When I finished, man, people in tears, like they crying. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is my story. But to them, man, it was so impactful. Bro, we leave the spot. And then Antoine reached out to me on IG. He was like, hey, man, I got a tool I think can help you. So I was like, cool. He's like, man, pull up to Shayla. It's a coffee roaster shop downtown, back home in Houston. So he's like, pull up at Shayla and I got you. I pull up. He get out the car with a machine called a hot top. So the hot top, I had been saving up for it. It was $1,800, add tax and all of that for shipping. I was going to buy from Sweet Maria's website. He gave me one for free. And I was like, bro, what I owe you? He was like, nothing, don't worry about it. I heard your story, man. It inspired me. And I just want to bless you with the hot top. So that enabled me to keep the business going. So I went from roasting in my oven at home to roasting outside in the garage. So like, man, I'm trying not to get choked up. Cause it's like, I went from, I think it was just seeing how, man, when you passionate about something and you continue to build, even when you hit like them brick walls, bro, like the Lord is near. And that was the first time I seen God move in not just my life, but in my business. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I went from where my daughter was sick, coughing every night, to where now I'm roasting outside and like my family good. Ain't nobody coughing. Ain't no gas in the crib. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it for real changed my life. And we still talk today. And Antoine will be the homie forever. So, and he saved me $2,000. So like all of the profits I'm making, like it's profits, but it's like I'm trying to save this money up for this hot top. So he gave me the hot top, so I kept the business going. But the business started growing so fast to where the hot top wasn't good enough. So I was telling Leah, I was like, I had like this little handheld fan. So as soon as I finished the roast, you really supposed to let it cool down for like 20 minutes. Man, I got the machine open, I got the fan on top of it, and I ended up misplacing it one time, and the machine be super hot. And it's like a metal machine. So that bad boy started melting the fan. But I was just trying to keep up the production. So after that, I was just so what I'm a sensory roaster. So a sensory roaster pretty much is I can show up anywhere. All I need to know is like what type of bean it is. And that'll help me make a decision on how long you're supposed to roast it and how it's supposed to look. So I've learned how to use commercial machines since then, but I started off as a sensory roaster. So that means that all I do is I look at how it look and how it smell. And then I know, oh, it's time to drop it. Oh no, let it keep roasting. So that's how I was able to use the hot top, because it actually comes with the machine to help you eyeball a roast to see like where your numbers at. Is it too hot? How you preheating it and all of that? I ain't use none of that because I ain't need it.
Right.
So
you gifted.
Yeah.
Gifted in coffee.
Yeah, my homeboy Bart call it Afro engineering.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just had to figure it out because I ain't have all that bread to buy no commercial roaster. So right. Antoine gave me the hot top, man. We continued to roast. Then I ended up getting a contract from this hotel. Shout out to Charles, that's my homeboy. So he was running his property. He said, bro, we spending, I think at the time, he said they was spending over $20,000 a year on coffee. I'm like, bro, who y'all buying coffee from? So he said, man, there's a whole bunch of K-Cups and stuff like that. He said, but we want to downsize and go to like a percolator or whatever. Can you give me some coffee grounds? I'm like, yeah. So he was like, oh, my bad. I thought I turned it down.
You good.
So he was like, can you give me some grounds? I'm like, yeah. He was like, can you beat the price? I'm like, of course. Right. Yeah, I ain't finna charge y'all. I told him, I say, I ain't gonna charge y'all 20,000. I'm gonna charge y'all 19,500. But yeah, so I beat the price, of course, but it was 15 pounds. So I'm like, bro, I cannot roast 15 pounds in this little hot top. Because the hot top, like the max was like 200, 250, 300 grams. So I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. So I reached out to a friend of mine at the time, a company called 3 Keys, and he let me use his roaster. He just like, pay me per pound that you roast. So that's how I was able to keep up and be able to make that keep that business going with the contract, which I still have to this day, even though I don't have the roaster. But that's another blessing that opened up. I would say probably like a year, 2 years later after that. So yeah, so I was able to use a commercial roaster even though I didn't have to buy it. Then my homeboy David allowed me to use his roaster like the last 2 years before we moved out here. And man, it's been amazing. I think it was just crazy. I've probably saved about $10,000 on equipment that was given to me, because even my homeboy David, he gave me a commercial grinder, because my contract at the hotel, he wanted 15 pounds, but he wanted it ground. So I'm like, man, I don't have no, all I had was like I would say, man, I probably ground 2 ounces in the grinder I had. Now you talking about 15 pounds. So I was like, well, how am I grind it? Homeboy Dave was like, hey, I got a grinder. We not using it. I researched the grinder was like $800 plus tax. So I'm like, this is crazy. So now I'm using somebody else's roaster to roast 15 pounds, and I'm using somebody else's grinder that he gave me to grind it. So it's like all of the blessings that I got, man, it just kind of continued to motivate me to keep going. And that's why I feel like now it started off as I would say a business, but now it's kind of moved into like purpose, because I'm like, man, I had so many opportunities to quit. You feel me? But the Lord just continued to alley-oop, alley-oop. So I'm like, now I can't stop. Like we kind of pause a little bit, but now we just in the stages where we're just trying to figure out how to get it back going.
When we go open this coffee shop.
Man, so
hold on. Wait.
Oh, yeah.
She has a question.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I want to take it back to the Frank Lucas era. You ever
Yeah.
seen that movie, right?
Yeah.
American Gangster, right?
Yeah.
So you was talking about green coffee. So
Mhm.
that kind of got my interest. And then you mentioned like crack 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean? And then, you talked about the gas and all of that.
Yeah.
Can you speak to about the quality of the coffee that you're producing?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, man, that's an excellent question. All right, so first we talk about the green. So now today I actually can get green coffee ethically sourced from Rwanda. So, and I'm glad you asked that question because I missed a part when I was sharing the story. So we serve exclusive coffee from Rwanda. We don't serve another continent. Now, I'm not mad at my Latino folk, my South American, Central American. It's just that when I came into business, I wanted to support my people from Africa. So the Lord told me to do Rwandan coffee, so that's what we do. But anyway, so the quality of your green definitely impacts the quality of the roast. So you can get green coffee that what we call is defective. So that means that you got birds or something that ate through it. So coffee is a fruit. It actually grows on trees. So they come from coffee cherries. So you get people who work in these coffee farms, they pick off these coffee cherries and you open up the cherry and you'll see 1 to 2 green beans. And then they take them out and then they process them. So sometimes it can be a wash process or a natural process or something like that. And with that, they ship it or whatever. So, but if you get some defective beans, that means that it could have been tampered with by an animal, a bird, because most of where coffee grows, it's in these natural habitats. I don't know if it's anybody blocking off coffee trees or whatever, but animals can get to it. So sometimes you'll get defective coffee, defective green. It might be some cracked beans, some of them dark brown, some of them look like they already burnt, some of them look like dirt. So I'm blessed that with Umuko coffee, that's who I get my green from, they are vertically integrated. So that means that there is no middleman with the shipping and distribution. So they do all of the importing and exporting. It's a brother named Valentine that stays in Rwanda that handles quality control. And then you have Chris, the other brother who lives in he kind of works in the Baltimore, Maryland area, and they own a brick and mortar called Matriarch Coffee. So that's who I call. So if I have any issues, anything, which I really have never had, normally I call Chris. So because their green has always been tipped, I've never had a batch that I went through and was like, oh, it's some defective beans. They're always top tier. So I've never had to worry about, is my green good enough to roast? I just roast it. So your green or the quality are like, and I would say the Frank Frank Lucas days of like Styles P say, you know, it's not stepped on. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but yeah, so the green quality, because it's always top tier, it gives me the best opportunity when I roast it. So, you know, my medium roast, I think one compliment that is consistent with every customer that try my coffee for the first time is the smell. I always say, man, it smells so good. My homeboy Chuck hit me up like, bro, I opened that coffee on Monday. I can still smell it when I cracked open the seal. So that comes from top tier green, and I was gonna say top tier roasting, but I don't want to just pat myself on the back like that. But it comes from good roasting, because definitely your medium roast. Now, mind you, coffee is different. So every roast for, like, I might do a Rwandan roast for 9.5 minutes with a preheat temperature at 350, 355, and an ending temperature at 395 or 400. That could be perfect for my Rwandan coffee. That might not be good for a Colombian coffee. So it matters on, I would say, the relationship that you're able to build with understanding the bean. And which is why I use Rwandan coffee a lot, because I'm like, man, I've spent 4 years with Rwandan coffee. If somebody say they serve Rwandan coffee, I normally like, okay, let me try it. And if I taste it, I'm like, okay, well, you probably should have went longer with your roast, or you went too long with the roast. Because even at a medium roast, and this is just me personally, I don't want to get any burnt notes from the coffee if I'm drinking a medium roast, and definitely like a light roast. Yeah, so the roast depends on how good your green is. If you can get good green all the time, then I'm not saying the roast don't matter, but having good green will help you to be able to master or get a really good roast, whether it be medium, light roast, or dark. And then about the crack. So it's like, because of the temperature, it's really like a science to it. So it's funny, I don't call myself a chef, but with the work and the skill that I have with coffee, I kind of work as a chef. Like, I can tell you, okay, this specific coffee needs to be roasted at this specific temperature for this specific time, and you'll get these notes out of it. So with the crack, because of the temperature, I would say Rwandan coffee, I normally get my first crack around, I would say, between 355 degrees and 365 degrees. Because on that's like the first, now look, I need to make sure this is not my wife.
Go ahead.
Okay, no, that's on me. I'm sorry. I'm more
good.
professional than this.
You're good.
And I thought I turned
Don't worry
my
about it.
ringer down. All right, cool. That was an alarm I had set. But yeah, so with the crack, with the temperature, as it's warming up, the coffee is changing its formula or its form. So it gets to a certain temperature where it pops. That's not going the same. It's not going to be the same temperature for every coffee. But for Rwandan coffee, around, I would say, between 355, really like 360, 370 is normally when I get the first pop. So that first pop tells me, okay, we cooking. Like, you could try to drop the temperature, but once that first crack starts, the temperature is going to skyrocket, because it's like the coffee has opened itself up to be manipulated at the highest quality, in a way. So when that coffee, boom, that first crack, that's really when you really got to start paying attention. So you in that development time ratio. And that's how you decide how much of these notes that I got throughout this roast do I want to be shown in this cup of coffee. So it's like, man, that first crack, then if you drop it before the second crack, then normally you get like a medium roast. Mm. If you drop it like as soon as first crack happens, that's kind of like a light roast. You go past the second crack, that's a dark roast. And you can get a good cup of coffee out of a dark roast. But sometimes some of these shops you go to, I ain't gonna name them, but some of these shops you go to, they'll tell you it's a dark roast, and really all they did was just roast it too long. So it's like I should be able to sip a dark roast, black coffee dark roast, and still enjoy the taste.
But since you on that, I got one of my
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
Where do you go if you don't make your own coffee? What coffee shops? You know, people get coffee from McDonald's. People get coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. Of course, Starbucks.
Yeah.
Any coffee shops? Where you only been here for a short while. So have you had any
4 months.
different coffees?
Oh yeah, I've been a few places. So I'll name my spots in Houston first.
Okay.
In Houston, back home, it's gonna be Blacksmith. They have the best coffee and best full kitchen. Right after them, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Tipping Point because Dave gonna put hands on me if I don't show love. But so Tipping Point. Then you have Cafe. They probably have the most creative coffee. Like I had like a peanut butter espresso, a blueberry espresso. That was outrageous. And there's a lot of other spots, but those like my top 3. In North Carolina, if I had to pick my favorite shop, just coffee alone, I don't want to say a tie. I'm saying it's a close tie. But Jubala.
Where is it at?
It's in Raleigh.
Okay.
So I don't say Raleigh. My bad. You know, I'm from down south. I say Raleigh. Yeah. So it's in Raleigh. I went there this morning. They have some of the best pour overs. I had I think it's called a Loose Angela pour over this morning. And it was like pineapple, strawberries. It's just crazy. But if I want to go, they have like good biscuits and stuff too. I would say closer to them, it would be probably Joe Van Gogh that's in Durham, close by the house. I never go there and be like, "Oh, this cup of coffee is weird." They always have good coffee.
I gotta put that in my notes.
Yeah, Joe Van Gogh, solid. Jubala, solid. I'm trying to think. It's another. Fount Coffee Plus Kitchen. I think they in Durham too. It's called Fount Coffee Plus Kitchen. They are really good. They got a full kitchen too. But their coffee is solid.
So what you think about Starbucks?
Man, yeah, I haven't been to Starbucks in years. And the reason why is because I read an article about them that I thought was kind of out of line. But I've tried their coffee, and I feel like Starbucks is like if you're in a rush, because they're gonna be really fast. But yeah, other than that, and because I'm like a coffee connoisseur, I drink my coffee black, and Starbucks just doesn't have a really top tier black coffee that like I've been able to enjoy. Now, when it comes to like flavored drinks, I say they decent. Like normally my wife is like this is pumpkin spice season. She want pumpkin spice from everywhere. They pumpkin spice is decent. But like if I'm going for like coffee quality, normally your mom and pop shop's gonna always be better because they take more time. And really, that's really like just almost like a rule of business. Like you got like fast food, and then you got like, fine dining type thing. Like if it's gonna be a spot where they just gonna take more time, normally the food gonna taste better. And I think it's the same thing with Starbucks. I think they've been able to build something outrageous, especially with buying all the land they got. But I think if it comes to like speedy, you in a rush, I think you kind of can't go wrong with Starbucks. But if you want a really good cup of coffee, you got a little time, you want to go to a mom and pop shop. So, and I'm the type of guy, I put coffee in my schedule. So like if I gotta be somewhere at 7, that means I'm looking for a coffee shop that's open at 6. If I gotta be somewhere at 8, I need them open at 7. Because that give me enough time to order coffee, wait, get my coffee, and get where I go. Now, these days, though, if I'm not trying to do different spots, I just make lattes at the house. So I have an espresso machine at home. So when I get home, after this recording, when I get home, my wife and kids going to be looking at me like, when you making coffee? So we do a cup of coffee, caffeine in the morning, and we do decaf in the evening.
So do you have your? Are you still making your own coffee?
So I'm roasting, but I wouldn't say I'm roasting for production yet.
Right.
But I am roasting like for myself at home.
I'm about to say, because I need to taste that green coffee.
I got some coffee for you though.
Okay.
I got enough where I can like share it.
Okay.
But right now, which is a good question too, because I recently partnered with Matriarch Coffee that I talked about earlier. They allowed me to be a partner with them to where it's really like an affiliate partnership. You can buy coffee from, I have a certain link that I have, and you use that link, buy coffee, you get a discount, and they pay me a commission. So I have their coffee right now on my website because they really good people. And I think I can still promote them. And that's the coffee that I've been serving over the past few years and still feel good enough knowing that people are getting a top tier quality of coffee. But yeah, I got some.
So that the company you affiliated with, that green coffee too, or no?
So they do serve green coffee.
Okay.
It's gonna be Umuko Coffee is where I get my green from, and Matriarch Coffee is the brick and mortar, but they sell roasted coffee as well.
Okay.
So most of the coffee I serve now, as far as on my website, PadiriCoffeeLab.com, you'll go on there and you'll see the Matriarch coffee spotlighted. So, and my link is already attached. So you just go over there, click on it, purchase it, and they do all the shipping and handling, which helps because, man, when you're a small business owner, you got to do all the shipping and handling on your own. And I've had times where, bro, people would buy coffee from me from South Carolina. This is when I was back home. South Carolina, I had one lady spend $200. And I'm like, this lady ain't even tried the coffee yet. She was like, oh yeah, I saw you on Instagram. I wanted to buy some coffee. So, but that shipping though is expensive.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I had to ship coffee to Memphis, South Carolina, Boston, Massachusetts. I ship coffee to New York. I ship coffee to Alabama. I ship coffee to Florida. And I mean, sometimes, man, just the shipping be like $16. And I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. Not long term, because now all of my shipping cutting back into the profits. So working with Matriarch Coffee has given me the leverage to be able to still sell top tier quality, still support Rwandan coffee, and then they handle all the overhead and the shipping and distribution. And I know it's gonna get there fast because it's from farm to cup. They doing all the shipping, distribution, importing, exporting. So I don't have to worry about the quality.
Right. I got so many questions. So have you ever thought about getting somebody to invest in your business?
I have. But I say the only reason I'm not as engaged in that right now is because I haven't sat down to build out the infrastructure. Like I know I know what I need. I know what I want, but I'm also like, if I was to do that, I don't know if I would do like a weed funder or like investor. I think it's a weed funder. Just like open investing, because I'm like, man, once folks start putting their money in,
that's right, yeah,
they start wanting funds at a certain time.
I take that back. Yeah.
I think it worked for some people.
Yeah, some people, yeah.
But I think like for me, man, I've done so much in the coffee space, specifically back home and in Houston, or just in the coffee space. Like I got friends mentors who say I'm a legend to them, which is crazy to me. But I've done so much in the coffee space, and I did it my way. And even though it's a slow boogie, I appreciate it. And now I learned that from my homeboy David Buer. I'll never forget. I asked him one day, I said, man, you got all of these products, man. You got this. I know it's a $1 million business. And I can say that because back home, they would do I guess you could say like they would show their books to help business owners. Like this how much money we made, this how much money we spent on salary, healthcare, and all of that. So that's like my mentor, David Buer. But I said, man, why you support me, bro? Like, you don't ever be charging me like crazy prices to support me. When I had my 40th birthday party, he let me do a Rwandan coffee tasting for the top 10 coffees in Rwanda at his shop, at his warehouse. So I'm like, bro, why you do all this? And I'll never forget, bro. He told me, Leon, he said, the way you run your business is sustainable. He said, so that's why I support. He's like, because I know that, and this is I'm adding on with my thinking. I figure that he thinks, well, if it's sustainable, I know that he gonna be a good steward of the resources that I give him. So when he told me he support me because the way I run my business is sustainable, I was like, okay, well, I gotta do it my way. Take the time and take no shortcuts, but I do feel like it's a coffee shop coming soon. I don't know how soon,
right?
But I already built out I do have my menu built out, my coffee menu. So yeah, we working, but when it's time, it'll be time.
We're gonna have that green by the pound, green by the pound. This man has said green, bacon, crack,
yeah,
gas.
I know. So look though. Me and my homeboy Bart, we be talking about coffee. And I'd be like, boy, if the feds had our phone tap, boy, we in trouble.
Right.
Boy, we in trouble. Because and it's funny because I would say ounces.
Mm-hmm.
And my homeboy David like, look, man, just use grams. I'm like, why? He was like, because the measurements flow easier if you just use grams. So like, I'll be like, yeah, man, we roasted 2 kilos last week. Man, like I told you at the shop,
yeah.
Like when we started the business, April 8th, April 2021, we officially launched May 1st, 2021 with 77 pounds of coffee. I sold out of all of that by October. But if you look at like kilograms, by the end of the year, we sold over 100 kilograms of coffee. That was out of my oven at home. That's unheard of. Like, it's crazy. Like, boys not roasting that much coffee in their oven at home.
Right.
And running a business from it. And I think that's why a lot of my friends in business was like, bro, you crazy. But they like, bro, you roasting in your oven at home and you running a business by roasting coffee from your oven at home, and people are actually enjoying it.
Right.
Like, they're like, man, this is some of the best coffee I ever had. And I'm like, say, man, the Lord told me to do it. I'm just being, you feel me? Like, I'm just being obedient, man.
The coffee came.
Yeah, I'm just being obedient, man.
So look, you said, you told me, you said you use coffee as a tool to love your neighbors as ourselves.
Yeah.
However you worded that.
Man,
Talk about that.
I think, man, when I started, the idea was, the name of the company was Dad Coffee Company. Because I feel like dads can be overlooked, you know what I'm saying, sometimes. And I was like, I wanted to come up with a company where, now I grew up without my pop, so I wanted to come up with a company where it felt like a gift from me to them, you know what I'm saying? So started out Dad Coffee Company. And the idea at first was Houston culture in a cup. So every blend I came up with is some kind of Houston lingo. Even our colors are like black and purple, you know, because purple is like a Houston color that we use, the color of syrup and all of that other stuff. Mm-hmm. But so the idea was Houston culture in the cup. So my first coffee blend was a draped and dripped blend. Because, you know, we say we draped up and dripped out, you know, word to Lil Kiki. But then my second blend was double cup. Because back home in Houston, if you sip and serve, you got 2 styrofoam cups with that. You know what I'm saying? So it was a double cup. But anyway, kind of roll with the Houston culture in the cup. But then I was like, man, but that can't be the reason why we doing business. You feel me? Like, oh yeah, we doing business because we want everybody to know about Houston. That's a little bit of it, but like, what's the purpose? And man, I just felt like understanding how important coffee is and how important coffee can be. I was like, man, I thought about the community that coffee brings. Like, bro, normally anytime you like, man, let's catch a cup of coffee. Somebody might even say, I don't really drink coffee, but you know, I do tea. You know, and they'll pull up. So it's like, man, when I came up with that, I thought about in the Bible where it talks about how the Lord is talking to his disciples and he tell them, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, it's 2 commandments. Love the Lord, love the Lord God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. And I thought about, man, how cool would it be to have coffee as a tool to be able to show people the love of God in my life? So that's how we came up with it. So we use coffee as a tool to love our neighbor as ourselves. So coffee, because I really understand at first, you know, sometimes you think coffee just kind of stumbled on me, but God sent it to me. And I can't say that enough because it's no explanation about the success that I've had. It didn't come from other people. You feel me? Like the Lord literally sent people in my circle to bless me with everything that he gave me. So how dare I not tell people about the Lord when I know that's why he gave me coffee. So, but yeah, so we use coffee as a tool to love our neighbors ourselves. So I look at coffee, man, just being that opportunity, one, to talk to people, meet with people, and to tell people about Jesus, man. So like, that's always my goal. And it's not even on the blast where, you know, I can't talk to nobody because they don't believe what I believe. I just use coffee to talk to people. I just want them to know that God love them too. You feel me? And how he changed my life. And you ain't gotta believe what I can believe, but we can still talk about it over this cup of coffee.
Right.
So I just see coffee, man, as being like the greatest tool, bro, to meet new people, to build with people, to have friendships. Like even the friendships that I've been blessed with in coffee, they don't believe, they don't have the same faith I have, but we still talk. We still cool. They're my people. If they need me, I'm gonna be there for them. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, if I called them, they be there for me. So yeah, man. So coffee it started off kind of just want to do something. And I feel like God was leading me somewhere to where now I understand that it's a tool, man, not just for me, but to bless other people and to invite other people into the love of God and what he's shown me and what he's given me.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Blessing. Look.
Yeah, man.
I ran off the ounces in the green. Then you start adding double cup and purple and all that.
Yeah, man. You know how I go down in H time, man.
Yeah. So how did coffee lead you to becoming? I hope I say this right. Is it barista?
Yeah, barista. Yeah. So, man, David, the homie, that boy all through my story.
First, explain what a barista is.
So, look, now this okay. I'll try to make it plain. So I'll say a barista is somebody with the skill set to pour coffee, but also to understand different quantities of coffee. I would say they know how to brew coffee. They know the different textures and different pours, and they can pretty much run your average coffee shop. So when I got into the coffee game, I was a coffee roaster. I knew nothing about being a barista outside of me brewing my coffee in a French press. But David Buer, my mentor, I had been telling him for a while, man, David, bro, I want to learn how to I want to learn how to be a barista. So he was like, okay, man, that's cool. I'm, just keep studying. He would tell me sometimes, man, you already a barista. But he ended up getting an opportunity where he ended up getting a contract with this with a spot named Katami back home in Houston. And he was like, hey, they need a barista for this cafe program. I'm doing it now, but I can't do this every day. I got a business to run. He was like, but I'll train you to become a barista. And I'm like, bro, this is the craziest thing ever. Because David, I believe, was top 6 barista in the country 2024, I think, or 2023. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, David, my bad. But I think it was 2023 or 24. So I didn't get my barista skills from just some random dude that was like, yeah, I'm a barista, I can train you. Like this dude, top 10 barista in the country. And man, it took, I would say, about 2 weeks to get me to a point where I felt comfortable pouring coffee. Now at this spot, it was a fine dining spot. They was open from 5 to 10. And so my drinks I poured was like a cappuccino, Americanos. Somebody might ask for a cortado, and then we would do different teas. And like David had created this matcha latte, which was really good. But as far as coffee, I was just doing espresso shots, cappuccinos, and Americanos. So, but there's a certain texture that the milk is supposed to have when you pour in a cappuccino. Your cappuccino is supposed to be thicker than your latte pour.
Yeah, because you was telling me about, and I ain't know different ways to steam milk.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because you
lattes,
don't, yeah, you don't want your latte to be thick like a cappuccino. Definitely, if you buying it from a coffee shop and you drinking through this little opening, if you got cappuccino thickness on your milk, it's not gonna flow too smooth. So then your cappuccino is gonna be, because you steaming it a little bit longer, it's gonna be a little hotter on temperature than your latte would be. So yeah, it's and even I learned too, like about macchiatos. Like macchiato is Italian for mark. So you take the espresso and you're supposed to mark it with milk. Like that type of stuff I never knew that I learned. But David trained me, man. We probably went through, I would say, probably about almost 50 gallons of milk. And I ain't gonna lie, it was one of the hardest things I ever did, because it's the mental strain behind it. Because you like, okay, that's a good pour, and Dave like, too thick, too thin, pour it out, too thick, too thin. Okay, that's just right. I'm like, cool, I got it. Too thick, too thin. You know?
Right.
It's like as soon as I thought like I had it, he'd be like, nope, not good enough. Nope, pour it out. So I would just, man, like my shift would start at 4:30. I would come in at 4:00 and just go through milk, pour after pour after pour, steam after steam after steam. And I think I got it down to a science where I could get decent latte art and a good pour out of it. But it took me, I would say, 2 weeks as far as training. But I would say like probably some months to where I was like, I could tell people confidently that like I'm a barista. And I think that it also helped me get my first barista job part-time in North Carolina. So I was a coffee business owner back home in Houston. And outside of that job at Katami pouring cappuccinos and stuff, I never had like a barista job outside of that. So I owe a lot of that today. So now I can say that I'm a coffee roaster. I can observe the green, look at it. I can observe the coffee, look at it. And now I can pour it too. I know your ratios, things like that. So I'm not only a coffee roaster, I'm also a barista.
This man says it's a skill to pouring coffee.
Say it's a skill.
It's a skill,
man.
Coffee.
It's a skill. And it's such a
What
good
about if I just stick my pinky out while I'm pouring my coffee?
Yeah, it might look good, but I don't know if that's going to help the quality, man.
Right.
That's going to help the quality.
Yeah. So how would you, once you open up a coffee shop?
Yeah.
When you do, I'm going to say when you do.
For sure.
How would you run it? How would you build it out? And
for the people?
Man, so right now, like in my brain, I would say it'd probably be maybe 2,000 square feet, or maybe larger, because let's say 2,000 to 3,000 square feet. One floor. I know some coffee shops got 2 floors. I ain't trying to walk up them steps.
All right.
But 1 floor. But I'd like to have like a couple classrooms. One for like if churches want to do Bible study there or whatever. And then if we want to do like barista classes there, or let's say you got a school or a homeschool co-op, they want to do classes there. But also, like I said about loving our neighbor as ourselves, maybe you have people who have questions about the Bible. They want to come in and convo. We got space for them to do that. Then I wanted to also have some kind of facility there where maybe, we can help people who trying to get off the street. Maybe have a section in a coffee shop where we have housing for them. I don't know. But I want it to be something where we have space for not just people who want to come drink coffee, but people who going through things, people who need love, people who need guidance, people who just want to come through and build community. So something that I think everybody can participate. Now, I will tell you this though. When it comes to music, though, we jamming a whole bunch of chopped and screwed music. So y'all just gonna have to get over it, man. Cause we jam everything and slow down back home. You feel me? So we gonna now. I will have me some good lo-fi or whatever. It ain't gonna be all chopped and screwed, but you gonna be sitting up there sipping some coffee and you hear some DJ Screw. You gonna hear some of that at the shop, but. Man, definitely something where everybody feel like they can be a part. Because I've been in coffee shops, bro, back home, and I ain't saying they racist, but like I show up and I just feel like they don't want me there.
Mm-hmm.
I never forget, man. I ain't gonna say the coffee shop name, but I went to a coffee shop one time, bro. I spent $13 on some black coffee.
Mm-hmm.
They told me it was some kind of geisha or whatever. I say, cool. Let me get so it was from Panama. So it was like $13, $14. Now, mind you, at this time, I own a coffee business.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand the idea of pour overs and geishas and anaerobics and co-fermented coffee that you're not supposed to add milk with because it takes away from the flavors of the. I know all of that stuff. You feel me? I run a business, so I know all of that stuff. So I had the coffee. It was really good, but I had a little bit left. I had like, not a little bit left. I had a little bit left in the mug, but because it's a pour over, you normally get like, I'll say at least 300 to 400 grams of coffee as far as coffee to drink, which would be, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10, enough for maybe like two 8-ounce, 10-ounce mugs, whatever. So I said, man, I want a little milk with the coffee just to see how it tastes to experiment. And they would not sell me the milk. They told me that because it's a geisha and all of this stuff, that I'm not supposed to add milk with it. And in my mind, I'm like, bro, I done paid for 3 gallons of milk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, man? Hand me that milk. So it's like, there are spaces where I feel like me personally, I'm not welcome. So I want to make sure that my shop don't feel like that. Like I want everybody to feel like they can be a part of my shop, regardless of, who they believe in, who they don't believe in, or what they do or whatever. It's like, nah, you at least got a place here because everybody deserve human dignity, man, and to be seen as a human being. So
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you said you told me that you are in, is it divinity school or not?
Yeah, I'm in seminary. Yeah,
seminary.
Southeastern. Yes,
What's
sir.
the difference between seminary and divinity?
That was my question.
To be honest with you, to me they the same.
Okay.
So a lot of people just call it, like my grandma call it Bible college.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, that's what it is.
Right.
That's what it is. You know, they have different degrees, but for the most part, it's the same thing.
Okay.
We going to school to get more accreditation about certain topics of the Bible or certain studies within the scriptures or the idea of Christianity.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So did I leave out anything else about coffee? What am I forgetting? It sounds like you told us a lot.
Shoot, I don't even know, dog. So let me see. We talked about how to get it green. We talked about the first cracks.
Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna get my green coffee. I want some green coffee, y'all.
Man,
green
I
coffee.
got you. I got you this week. I'm gonna pull up at the shop. I'm gonna have it in a bag. I might have to cover it up. You know, folks gonna be looking. What he got?
Yeah, got that green.
Then you know I'm new. I'm new to the States too. So they be like, we ain't seen you come up here only about 3 times. But that boy cold with the hands. So
appreciate it.
Yeah, he actually got me looking right for the camera now. So
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. That's about it. It's about to be a wrap. Look, make sure you give me your website, Instagram.
So I'm on IG, Padiri Coffee Lab. I'm on YouTube, Padiri Coffee Lab. And I'm on, you can hit the website, PadiriCoffeeLab.com. So you spell Padiri, Padiri. So PadiriCoffeeLab.com. You can order coffee. You can read about the company, why we do what we do, and why we love Houston so much, but also why we glad to be in North Carolina as well. It's a beautiful place, man.
Hey, look, y'all see me in the coffee business. You know I'm an entrepreneur. Huh?
Yeah.
I try different things.
I forgot one thing.
Go ahead.
I gotta send a shout out to the best baker in the country. Her name is Ella Russell. She on a spot called Crumville. She make the best pastries, cookies, all of that in the world.
What is it?
And she gave me my first opportunity to do a pop-up at her shop. So I gotta shout out Ella. It's all online.
Oh, it's online?
Yeah.
So she ship them out?
Yeah, she ship them out. I just ordered some from her last week, and the fam killed them like a day.
So where's she from? Where's she based out of?
She was born and raised in Galveston, but she in Houston.
She in Houston.
Yeah. So it's that crazy to where like I order and let her ship them to me. So now she don't do like cupcakes and stuff like that. She ship them because icing and all of that, but like cookies.
Right. And what is it again? Tell the people.
Crumville.
Crumville.
Yeah, Crumville.
On IG.
It's on IG. Yeah, Crumville, Texas. TX.
Make sure y'all look that up. Blow her up.
Yeah.
Get you some pastry. Is it pastry cookies?
Yeah, pastries, cookies. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, do that.
Neighborhood cookie lady.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, make sure. So Impel means to take action. IMPEL, Impel Forward. Take action like Rob did. Make sure you tune in to the next time to the Impel Forward Podcast. And remember, seize the opportunity to grasp your dreams. Peace.